Hi everyone, my name is John Palco. I'm Intramural Sports Coordinator here at PTI. If you're seeing this video, sorry I didn't make it back for my basketball game in time, but I am going to go over the intramural basketball rules and regulations for our upcoming season. Just a reminder, all your players need to be rostered through imleagues.com/PTI prior to play. If they aren't, they cannot participate in the game until they are. When you're coming to any game, make sure you bring your PTI ID cards. We will collect these prior to the game. That way we know that all your players are eligible and they are actually PTI students. Because it's not our facility, the facility we're going to, dunking is not permitted during pregame or halftime. It will result in a technical foul. And we don't allow any headgear, mainly hats or anything like that, or any jewelry. Any headbands, though, are illegal. Regarding more equipment, we do not provide any uniforms, so you have to provide your own team shirts. Now, the only catch is they have to be the same color shirt. Shirts must also have a large visible number on the back of the shirt. Basically, you can have any number you want as long as it doesn't have a 6, 7, 8, or 9. If it has any of those, you cannot participate with that shirt. So there's a long list of numbers here, probably about 25, 30 numbers that you can choose from that are legal numbers for our game. If you any penalty or any failure to abide by these rules or regulations regarding uniforms or equipment results in a team technical foul. The opponent will shoot 2 free throws and then we'll toss the ball to start the game. So when and where do we play? We play from 9 to 11 p.m. starting tomorrow night at South Fayette Middle School. The address is on the screen, 3700 Old Oakdale Road. If you played with us in the past, we used to play at South Fayette Intermediate School. When you turn onto the campus of South Fayette, it's actually the first building you come up to. That's the middle school. That is the gym we are playing. We ask that when you arrive to the middle school, you walk through the front doors and not the side door of the gym. That way we can keep track of who's attending our events. The schedule will be posted tomorrow on IMLeagues by 2 p.m. or as late as tonight by midnight, whichever happens first with me. And again, we play on Tuesdays from 9 to 11 p.m. each Tuesday throughout the end of the season. The game is standard basketball. It's 5-on-5 with a minimum of 4 players on the court. You can finish the game with as few as 1 player, technically, but that rarely happens. We do use NFHS, which are the high school rules which govern play. Our game is 2 15-minute halves with a running clock, with the exception of the last minute of the second half, in which case the clock will stop on all whistles. There is no shot clock in our game, though, so that's something to keep in mind. Like in standard basketball, 1-on-1 on the 7th-team foul in the half, 2 shots on the 10th-team foul. Each team is allowed 1 30-second timeout per half. Timeouts do not carry over between halves. If we do have to get an overtime, the overtime is a 3-minute period, and the timing procedures will be the same as the second half, which means that the clock will stop on each whistle below a minute of the overtime period. Some more specifics, free throws. And the NFHS 2 years ago created the rule that all free throw players must be, or free throw people along the lane lines must be above the block. So the space below the block is no longer occupied. Players must line up promptly for free throws. We will penalize with a technical foul if you fail to do so. The minimum we need for free throws are 2 defensive players above the block. Any players along the lane lines can leave as soon as the ball is released by the free throw shooter. The free throw shooter and players outside the 3-point arc must wait for the ball to hit the rim by on the free throw. In this example here, which is actually from the NCAA tournament probably 2 years ago, there was a violation called on this play because the player outside the arc entered the 3-point arc before the ball hit the rim up top, so that was a violation. We do the alternating possession arrow for any held ball situations, so that is standard basketball rules. And we also have a closely guarded count. 5-second count will be in effect when an offensive player is closely guarded by a defender in that team's front court for longer than 5 seconds. Now, it is possible, though, for one offensive player to be guarded for up to 12 seconds without a violation. If you hold the ball for 4 seconds, if you dribble the ball for 4 seconds, or if you hold the ball again for 4 seconds, that's 12 seconds where it's legal to be guarded without a violation. But once we get to 5 seconds, if you're closely guarded in the front court, that is a violation for closely guarded. Substitutions, we ask that all players who aren't participating in the game at that time be on the table side, away from the bleachers, and stay in your team area. Whenever you want to report in to play, you have to check in with the table. During the next dead ball period, we'll blow a horn, and an official will beckon you into the game. Players are allowed to compete on one team only. Eligible players may be added at any point prior to the first playoff date. So if you you're allowed to add any players to your roster. Again, they have to be on your roster to participate in the game. Points of emphasis. The high school rules as of last year had a point of emphasis regarding hands by a defender. The following acts by a defender on a ball handler dribbler are automatic fouls. So if you place two hands on the ball handler dribbler, if you place an extended arm bar away from the body on the ball handler dribbler, if you place and keep a hand, aka riding the ball handler dribbler, that is a foul as well. Or if you place repeated touching with alternating hands or the same hand, that is an automatic foul. This is basically, it's a freedom of movement initiative. If you happen to watch any college games, the NCAA men's basketball is doing the same thing. High school, it's the second year of this initiative. We will attempt to call that as officials in our game as well, just to try to clean up the play. NFHS defines a ball handler dribbler as any player with possession of the ball. So that includes your post players. If you're guarding a post player, you're allowed your legally established position. Just don't place two hands or an extended arm bar on the player, or that will be whistled as an automatic foul. Some final reminders, again, team shirts with the same colors and legal numbers. That's up to you guys to get them. We will make sure, if we haven't already, that we get your color shirt for your team. Each team obviously will be a different color. Bring your PTI ID card prior to play. We will collect these. No student transportation to and from the facility. That's up to you to get there. And keep in mind, this is not a PTI facility. This is not our place of playing. We are lucky to have a good relationship with South Fayette. So any trash, please pick it up. And this is also a non-smoking facility as well. So leave it at your apartment or at your home. That being said, I have nothing else for you guys. If there are any questions, hopefully my student workers will do a great job of answering them. We'll see you tomorrow night.